because I have 3 podcasts now. It's absurd. I have that. I've got Creepcast with Meat Canyon, and then I've got the Red Thread with Charlie and Jackson Clark. So,
damn,
it's weird. I think last time I was on, I had 0. And now it's like, you guys are right. This is a good grift. Great idea.
Dude, next time we have you on, you'll have 5.
Then
a baker's dozen.
There's like I think Shaquille O'Neal just did one. LeBron James has one. JJ Redick.
You know what that should be called? Tall Tales.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. But like rich and powerful people are doing podcasts. Like they must earn more than us because to make it worth like Shaquille O'Neal's while.
So much more than us. Like
I think Shaquille O'Neal gets paid more than us.
Yeah, I think what happens sometimes, especially if there's like a Spotify exclusivity or something, they just have to say Shaquille's doing a podcast, and Spotify's like, oh, we'll pay blah blah blah. Like the contracts are absurd because that's what Joe Rogan did, right? He went Spotify exclusive for. Like I think
he's not anymore, right? Am I crazy?
So they just expanded it, and I think Spotify in some way manages or distributes the YouTube video. So now it's on YouTube, but it's still part of his deal with Spotify, and he got a couple $100 more million.
He's like I saw the Spotify, and I mean it's limited to Spotify, so who knows the iTunes numbers and all that. But Rogan is, I think, over 4 times bigger than number 2.
Yeah.
It's like average Spotify listens on his episode 15 million, and then number 2 is like 3 million. Something.
Did you
like
see
that.
the episode with Lex Friedman?
Now and then. It's Call Her Daddy. Is that number 2?
That was number 2, but like she was way behind, and obviously totally different markets there.
Did you see the episode with Lex Friedman where Joe gives him his watch?
No.
Lex Friedman's got a watch.
I haven't seen much Rogan.
I guess I don't remember exactly how it went, but Lex Friedman had like a crappy watch on or something, and Rogan's like, what are you wearing that for?
I think he complimented Joe's watch.
Joe takes his watch off. He's like, here, this is yours. This is your watch. He's like, are you serious? Thank you so much. It was such a sincere thank you, because it was like he just handed it's like a $10,000 or $12,000 watch at least. I don't remember what it was, an Omega or something like that. But it was a really cool moment. I like that. I also like it's kind of the same thing when he had Elon Musk on. Elon was bragging about how fast the Plaid is or whatever, and he's like, tell me which one to get. You tell me which one to get. I'll order it tonight. Tell me which one, the fastest one. And sure enough, he had one pretty quick. I don't think he had to go through the standard ordering process,
It sounded like he bought it, because Joe tells the story like Elon did him a huge favor by coming on the show, and he wanted to return the favor by buying a Tesla.
Yeah,
and
that's a money making moves.
That's why really Wendigoon's going to buy Lock and Load after he.
I don't see much Rogan, but I like the clips of Shane Gillis on YouTube. Just like Shane Gillis, not necessarily like him and he's so funny.
He's on.
He's got a show.
Right,
he has excellent delivery. I've heard about the show, but I watched this clip of there's like a drinking episode on Rogan, and Joe was like, and I saw like it was like interspliced with Shane talking about it on his own podcast, the Matt and Shane Secret Podcast, after the fact. And he's like, Shane was saying like, oh yeah, Joe, he's like Mr. Competitive, and me, I can throw back the BLs, the Bud Lights. And so Joe's like, I could drink with you, and I laughed at him and was like, no, you can't. You can't drink with me, Joe. And so then Joe starts trying to drink with me, and he like turns gray. Like he's dying. He turns gray like he's dying, and he's like slurring his words and everything. And meanwhile, I've like tripled him up on my total BL number. And like you see, there's that picture of them doing the podcast, like from like the aftermath, and there's like every bit of 25 Bud Lights in front of Shane Gillis, and he's just like the only one there who's still like a little with it, and everyone else throwing up, vomiting. He went in there and ran the table on him. You don't want to do a Bud Light drink off against.
You got to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Gotta know your vibe.
A man's got to know his limitations. That's what Clint Eastwood said.
Yeah. He was the first one to say that.
Spokesperson, I think so.
He was.
Right?
He is the Bud Light spokesman now.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if he officially
is.
I thought I saw something about that.
Because I remember after the whole Dylan Mulvaney stuff, they switched over to Shane. Yeah.
Then they paid the UFC $100 million plus, and then they paid the NFL another $100 million plus, and now they have a can for every team, so you can collect them.
They've done that before.
Yep,
Coke has
and
done that.
They're dropping all of those things simultaneously right now because a lot of people still haven't bought that beer because they put a transsexual.
Well, it's
on the
a
can.
problem is a lot of people switch to a different beer, and now they're just going to stick in that new groove.
So
they're
Taylor,
like-
you're a subject matter expert on beer, like light beers. Is Bud good? Is it?
No, like, but they're all those like big three are all pretty similar. Like Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light. Like, if you're gonna pro tip out there, if you're gonna drink a light beer of those like three major ones, go with Miller Light because it's actually lower in calories than all the other ones by like 10, 15 calories a can. Which if you're drinking a bunch of those, that's really adds up. And they all taste the same, other than Coors Light.
I disagree so much.
I know you do, but Coors Light's the worst of the three.
I disagree on that too. So, like Bud Light has the strongest, hoppiest taste, the most bitter taste to it. It's my least favorite beer. Miller Lite is smooth. It has very little bitter hoppiness to it. And Coors Light is like a twangy Miller Lite to me. It's more watered down. I think it's less alcohol by volume. Like maybe Bud Light's 5.5, Miller's 5.5, and maybe Coors is sometimes 4 or something like that.
I think all the light beers are like 4.5, 4.2.
I think they're all hard to disagree on that too.
Yeah. We could look this up. I'm not going to, but
there's no way we can find it out.
We're just talking about beverages, Chris. Just
beers,
which is a much more
I like those
appropriate. So beverages. Oh, can't get enough.
Love drinking things. Huge
drinking things
every day.
I like drinking a thing. Yeah.
You look hydrated. How are those, Taylor? I've got some of those orders.
I give 2 thumbs up to the Sprite Zero Sugar Chill, the Sprite Cherry Lime.
What's different about the chill?
Cherry lime.
It's cherry lime. Yeah, it's Sprite Zero, but with cherry lime added. They got their scientists together and they figured out how do we do this.
I don't know how they fucking.
And it's gonna be like muskrat anus or something like that.
That's
where the cherry comes from, or raspberry.
I'll never drink raspberry tea again because I was sitting in a Cracker Barrel one morning in Chicago with Woody over there, and as someone drank the raspberry lemonade, he's like, they get that flavoring compound from the anus glands of a beaver. And everybody's like,
I'm great at parties.
Everybody gets out their phones. Breakfast comes to a halt. Everyone is Googling and citing.
How'd they figure this out?
I mean,
it's true though.
Someone tried a lot of different glands.
They must have had like a Manhattan Project level of secrecy at the plants where they're like, no one better fucking spit.
No, I think it was some guy. Some guy was like, "Hey guys, I was doing some thing, and you wouldn't believe what I just figured out."
It just fell into my mouth. Crazy story. Anyway,
total accident.
Time,
but
Larry, how you figured out that anus gland tasted like delicious raspberries?
Everyone was talking about going down on beavers, and I got confused.
That'd be good for the presidential debate.
That's what they say about the first guy that milked a cow.
The country's in such a bad spot. Believe me. What are we sweetening our tea with?
Cherry soda.
Lion Joe doesn't
Cherry
know.
soda.
We're using assholes of animals, folks.
this is what they don't want you to know.
This is what they don't want you to know.
How are they
Deep
figuring
state.
this?
Oh, we were talking about earlier the Shane Gillis show. That's what you got to review when it comes out. I'm excited to see that.
It's a sketch show, right?
I have low.
What is it?
No, it's about a tire shop that he works in.
It's like kind of mockumentary, like looking.
Yeah, it's like a
but,
sitcom.
Yeah.
When's it coming out?
Soon-ish, like a month.
It might
on
be out
Netflix.
like around now.
That'd be cool. I don't remember exactly. I just saw some clips from it, and it looked pretty funny. He's basically playing himself, and working in a tire shop with other degenerates. It looked funny.
Oh, is it called Tires?
Probably, yeah.
I'll
I'm
watch
seeing
it.
him live
23rd it
in
premieres,
June.
so a week. Oh, and it looks like 6 episodes are dropping
Oh, nice.
on May 23rd.
I'll watch it. I like Shane Gillis. He's funny.
That might be all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a brave take that Shane Gillis is a funny guy.
You're so
Yeah.
He was on SNL. I think he's good.
Yeah, that was
I think
funny to see. I've never watched SNL. Like I've never actually just sat down and watched an episode of it, but it's good to
Really?
see. Yeah, just not my
His sketches
generation.
were good.
It's not. I don't like the broadcast either. Like I'm an SNL fan, but I wouldn't watch the broadcast because there's so much filler and there's so much crap, and I don't care about the music act. Like you want to, hey, would you like to see your favorite artist the worst performance they've ever given.
Mm-hmm.
Late tonight between some comedy skits. No, just I want to go to bed. So just put the comedy skits all together and I'll watch the music at the end if I want to. I hate that formula that they do.
So I'm glad they post on YouTube. Like they're
exactly
watch everything.
You're able to go. It's like Super Bowl commercials. Like just get to the meat and potatoes of this whole fucking thing. What we actually want to see, and it's much better that way. I liked his skits. The one where the Trump sneakers like gave him the ability to just like he shoots the basketball and he misses. And they're like, oh, you missed. He's like, no, I didn't. It went in. It went in. No, it didn't go in. It absolutely did. I was like, maybe. They're like, I guess it did. I don't know.
I guess it's no, he's pretty sure.
Did you see the one where he was like at his high school reunion? And
the Forrest
Gump one. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, that was great.
The Liberty Mutual one is good. The Limu, the Emu, that was probably the best.
Oh yeah,
it was a cut for time. Yeah, that one is really good. But
I watched them on YouTube. They're no, I like him. I like his comedy, and he seems like a decent guy. I like his World War II obsessions too. Like I heard him talking about that Dan Carlin thing, and that's what made me go listen to it. And so it's funny to like listen to him talk about it after I've seen the 25-hour fucking podcast or whatever it is about World War II. No, he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, you linked me that clip of other comedians like making fun of him for playing Total War or Age of Empires, one of those three, or one of those games.
Yeah, the Draculas.
The Draculas versus the Greenskins, which is definitely not an Age of Empires thing. That's a little.
I also watched. Have you seen the Tom Brady roast?
I have not.
Only highlights.
I've seen clips. Yeah.
So I fast forwarded through like all of the people. Like I don't care what Gronkowski has to say. He's not a comedian. He's been fed some jokes. He won't even deliver them well. I'll skip that. If you want to see the best part, it's Nikki Glaser. Nikki Glaser kills so fucking hard that nobody else can even come close. Nobody else came close to what Nikki Glaser did. She blew it out of the park so well.
Yeah.
It was mean and nasty and biting and it was so well timed. She was hitting forehands and backhands like they were coming. The jokes were coming quick sometimes. It just like bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, and like shitting on 4 different people. Like as she like looks around the room, everybody's getting some shit, and it's all mean, biting, true shit. It was really good. She killed.
You told me.
On the other hand, did you see the Bert and Segura?
I watched 1 minute of, and then I started going fast forward.
Non-comedians could do that better. Like they really bombed.
What's up with? I mean, I don't know about Bert Kreischer's career really, but Tom Segura was very funny at one point. Like what?
I think he still is, but like I don't know. I don't like Bert at all.
Yeah, I've never seen any of his comedy and giggled at it.
You've seen The Machine.
The Machine.
Yeah, I've seen The Machine, and it's just like why are we pretending this is a real story?
It's a real story.
Nikki had a joke where she was like,
"Not try to disprove The Machine." With
happen.
a quick cursory Google search. Do not do that.
One of Nikki's jokes with about Bert was like, "I love that your joke." One joke.
I love your joke. Church is supposed to say but
it's so funny because you don't wear it, but you're supposed to. But
everything she said was really mean and biting. They shit on Tom Brady so hard. He wasn't expecting it, and he said,
"What? It's a roast."
They went so hard, dude. They were talking about how his wife left him for her jiu-jitsu coach, and they were talking about how like she's sucking his balls with their $30 million and stuff like that. Like it was mean shit.
I feel like,
and they kept going back to it. They went back to the jiu-jitsu teacher taking his wife at least 4 times, and I fast forward a lot.
Dude, they would have to. What else can you make fun of Tom Brady for?
It's become a point of like
sons
crisis and contention in his family. He's like, I did not know it was going to happen like this. And the only thing he objected to was when the Patriots coach got called out for that massage parlor wank.
Yes, he did.
I was just about to
Bob
ask,
Kraft is there.
Got like upset at.
Bob Kraft is there, and they made a massage parlor hand job joke about Bob Kraft, and you can hear Tom Brady leaning like, "Don't joke about that shit." And it's like, oh, I don't think that was a joke. Or
make fun of my whore ex-wife, all you please, but don't make fun of my man in the football world.
they cut over to Bob Kraft, and there the old fucker is. You know what I mean? Like, it was awkward.
Was he having fun?
He
the massage parlor. Yeah, he was a huge fan.
Yeah, he loved it.
Not the roast, not at all. No.
5 stars
business,
on the
I
Yelp
hear.
review.
Yeah.
If he was if I was his like manager publicist, like helping him with the face of his brand, Bob Kraft, I'd be like, sir, Yelp review the massage parlor right now, 5 stars. Right now, it'll be the funniest thing ever, and this whole thing will blow over. You know it was true. It would be true. It'd be so hilarious if he Yelp reviewed him, or if he gave him a bad review and like had a comedian write it about that. He could own the whole thing, but no, it was clearly something that I caught that moment. That Tom Brady's like, don't joke about that shit. You can hear him pick up on the mic. It wasn't like, haha, don't joke about that shit. It was like him leaning over to the guy, like, don't joke about that shit. It was a fun little moment.
Jeez.
It was a good roast.
I haven't watched a roast in forever. I need to remember.
I think
it was funny seeing the one comedian roast Dana White and the fighters that are with him. Now, I like fighting, so I know these guys are killers, but they look ridiculous. One of them looks like, I don't know, like a transsexual clown, and the other one looks like he's homeless. But these are 2 of the baddest motherfuckers in the world. They both
was
have
the
belts
transsexual clown Sugar Shane O'Malley?
It sure was. It sure was.
Okay.
And the homeless person's Max Holloway. He's just sitting there with half a mustache grown in, wearing like a sweater at a black tie event. Like he's just wearing like a long sleeve shirt, sit with like a regular like cheap little chain on, and it's a black tie event. Dana White's everybody's wearing suits and gowns and shit. And there they are. And so this guy's like, who you got sitting with you there? My God. And just starts ripping into them. And it's just like, oh, that is kind of cringy. They're not representing themselves well. Why does Sean O'Malley have to look like a gay poodle everywhere he goes?
That's his brand.
Why is that his brand?
You got to take a brand that's not taken yet.
Jesus Christ.
That's true. He's like, damn it. All the cool fighter names are taken.
Right.
The Hammer, the Titan, the attempted murderer.
But I'm the first bozo.
The Axe Murderer. That's a real fighter name.
Yeah.
The Axe Murderer?
The Axe Murderer.
It was that
Wanderlei Silva, right?
Oh no, that's who's the Iceman?
Chuck Liddell.
Oh, I met that guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You met Chuck Liddell. You had giant hands, right?
He did. He's a beefy boy, a broad fella. I wouldn't want to tussle with him.
Well, good call.
Yeah, he's a very good call.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's pushover these days. You saw that fight.
I don't know. I feel like that guy goes into any like public place not full of professional fighters.
I would rather fight Chuck Liddell than you. If I'm thinking about it, like I just think like I'd much rather fight Chuck Liddell than you. If I got to jump on one of you outside the bar with no warning, man, I'm jumping on Chuck. Chuck ain't getting back up.
That's true. I'm sprung.
You might be like, oh, you're in trouble.
Ooh, I got you for 3 minutes.
Yeah, like I dropped my keys trying to make my getaway.
You dropped your keys.